Evaluating Expressions, Part 4. In today's lesson, students will be substituting values for expressions with exponents. Expressions with what? Exponents. Very good. Before we begin, we need to review what is an exponent. Say exponent. The little number next to the base. What is it? It's the little number next to the base. And an exponent tells you how many times to multiply a base by itself. Now here the base that I'm talking about is x. So x is also known as a variable, okay? The base is going to be the big number where the exponent will be the little number, and it tells you how many times to multiply a number by itself. Okay, so the most common exponent that you are going to see is 2, and we call this actually x squared. What do we call it? X squared. So what does squared mean? Okay, so we're going to write it. It says squared. We're going to write exponent, which is the little number. When the exponent is, what is the number here? The exponent is a little 2. When the exponent is 2, that means that you're going to multiply the base by itself. How many times do you think you're going to multiply the base by itself? How many times will you multiply x by itself? 2 times. Okay, 2 times. Now, we need to talk about base again. And the base is going to be the big number. It's going to be what? The big number. In this case, the base is x, but I will give you different numbers to substitute in the place of x. Now, let's take a look at it first. X squared. What if I tell you that x, I'm going to give you x equals 5. I say, look, 5 squared. Okay, 5 squared. Well, I'm going to put 5 in the place of x because I want to substitute it, right? Put 5 in the place of the letter. And then I'll say, okay, I have this parenthesis, and then I have a square. What am I going to put in the parenthesis? I'm going to put a 5, right? But what is 5 squared? 5 squared. When the exponent is 2, you're going to multiply the base by itself 2 times. Well, the base is 5. How many times will you multiply 5 by itself? How many times? 2 times, right? So you'll say, well, 5 squared is really 5 multiplied by 5. Okay, repeat after me. 5 squared is not 5 times 2. Repeat after me. 5 squared is not 5 times 2. That's not what that means. 5 squared means that you're going to multiply 5 by itself 2 times. 5 and 5. There's 2 5s. I don't mean 5 plus 5. You're going to multiply it by itself. So what is 5 times 5 then? 5 times 5 is 25. Very good. Okay? We need to now talk about what happens when your base, the big number, okay, is negative. So when the base is negative, okay, and you square it, when it's negative and it's squared, then the answer is, well, let's think about it. If you're going to square a negative, square means you have 2 of something, okay? So if you have 2 negatives and you multiply them together, they make what? They make positive, right? So the answer then will have to be positive. So I'm going to put a little positive symbol here. All right? So I'm going to give you an example. Oh, write that as positive. Okay? So let me give you an example here. If I give you that x equals -5, okay? X equals -5. I want you to go ahead and substitute in -5 into this expression to get a value, okay? What does that mean? All right, well, the base is -5, or x, the variable, this one, is -5. So I'm going to put parentheses around the x to show you that that's where the -5 will go. It'll go right here. So how you show your work is you say, okay, you say, I'm going to put something in parentheses and then I'm going to add 3 to it. What am I putting in parentheses? I'm going to put, what is it? -5 here. Okay, -5 squared plus 3. Let me rewrite that right here. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to write it as -5 in parentheses squared, then I'm going to add 3 to it. Well, first, you know, in order of operations, what do you have to do first? You have to do the exponent, right? Well, what is -5 squared? Does that mean -5 in parentheses times -5? Is that what that means? -5 times -5? Yes. When I put them in parentheses, it means they're being multiplied. It means they're being what? Multiplied. Then I'm going to add 3. So, what is -5 times -5? Negative times negative makes positive. So this is going to be positive 25. Then I'm going to add 3. Okay, so what is 25 plus 3? 25 plus 3 is 26, 27, 28. Okay, so that's your answer. So now we're going to take some numbers and substitute them in the place of x. This time the expressions include x squared. What do they have? X squared. Now with x squared, the exponent is touching x, but really there are invisible parentheses around the x that I want you to go ahead and make in both expressions. So you have x squared plus 5 and x squared minus 9. Okay. Now when we show our work, I'm going to do this in 3 different colors so you don't get confused. We're going to make 3 lines of work. I know, it's a lot, isn't it? So the first time that we show our work, we're going to put parentheses. We're going to say, look, in parentheses squared, we're going to put some number, and then we're going to add 5. Okay? So first, what number are we going to substitute in for x? What is x here? It is -2. That is correct. Okay, are we good? Now, what I want you to do is make a little v, and I want you to tell me, what is -2 squared? Doesn't that mean that there are 2 of -2? Doesn't that mean I'm really talking about -2 times a -2? And I'm going to put them in parentheses, and they're going to be touching. When numbers are touching, it means they are multiplied. Then I'm going to add 5 to that. And on our third line is where we'll put the answer. And I'll put that answer in blue. So what is -2 times -2? -2 times -2 makes, negative times negative makes positive. So we have a positive 4, and then we're going to add a 5. -4 plus 5. And what is 4 plus 5? 4 plus 5 is, what is it? Positive 9. Very good. Go ahead and get that down. So let's do the next one. Now, to save yourself a little bit of time, you can go ahead and make the first line, because we know we're going to put in a number, we're going to square it, and we're going to add 5. And we're actually going to do that in the next box too. We're going to put in a number, we're going to square it, and we're going to add 5. Okay, so what number are we going to substitute here for x? X is 3, right? So, to make this a little bit bigger. So what is 3 squared? What does that mean? 3 squared equals what? 3 squared is actually talking about 3 times 3. Then you're going to add 5. All right, what is 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9. Then you're going to add 5. What is 9 plus 5? 9 plus 5, say 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Very good. More. What are we going to put in the parentheses? What is x here? X is negative 4. What is it? Negative 4. Okay. And I'm actually going to make this red so you know it's a negative number. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and multiply negative 4 by itself. How many times? 2 times. So you're going to put 2 negative 4s in parentheses touching. Then you're going to add 5. So what is negative 4 times negative 4? Negative times negative makes positive. And you'll notice that all of these answers should be positive. You have 16. Then you're going to add 5. And what is 16 plus 5? Say 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. What's the answer here? What's the value? The value is 21. Very good. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and practice making the first line of the expression. We're going to put in parentheses a number squared, but now we're going to subtract 9, or we'll be working with negative 9. So write that in each box. We have in parentheses a number squared minus 9, and in parentheses a number squared take away 9. They all mean the same thing. Okay, the first number we're going to work with, okay, is what? Negative 2. And we know from doing the work before that what is negative 2 squared? It's negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4, right? So what it then is 4 minus 9. Okay, now this, negative 2 times negative 2, that is positive 4. So you're working with a positive 4 and a negative 9. Whenever you're taking a bigger number from a smaller number, the answer is negative. Because do you have the same signs or different signs here? Different signs. So you're going to say different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. So 9 minus 4, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. But the answer is going to be negative because the 9 is the bigger number and it's negative. So the answer is negative 5 here. Okay. Next one. All right, so what are we going to plug in for the value of x? We're going to plug in a 3. Very good. What is 3 squared? 3 squared is what? 3 times 3, right? 3 times 3 is 9 minus 9. What is 9 take away 9? Remember? 9 take away 9 is 0. Is 0 positive or negative? Neither. Right? 0 is neither positive nor negative. It is just 0. It has no sign next to it. Last one, x equals negative 4. Okay? What goes in the parentheses here? We have a negative 4. Let me write it in red because it's negative. Okay. We know that negative 4 squared is negative 4 times negative 4. What is negative 4 times negative 4? Remember? Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. But now we have a positive 16 and a negative 9. So remember, this is just regular subtraction. They have different signs, and you're keeping the sign of the bigger number, which is positive 16. So 16 take away 9, just to review your touch math dots in case you forgot, I'll say 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So the answer is positive 7. So go ahead and get that down.